Hello again. So, I'm going to talk again with drawing, but this time I'm going to talk about the world I forgot to expand upon and was making a comic already on the. Sorry. So, I guess we're just going to talk about it. I originally was doing world building on it, but it was with Erosia, and I still don't know what really to do with the Erosia because Erosia is like, I'm so sorry I sound like this. Erosia is very far in the past, like around. Why am I doing all this extra stuff? I'm just gonna. This is like where Earth it started to form with the moon. Why am I drawing a ring? I know they crashed into each other scientifically, but like, yeah. You know, Earth, we're gonna put E, and then like Erosia started way back here, and, and right there. If you're wondering how this is possible, well, they have a star that lasts way longer than Earth's star, so you know, which means they have much more progress than Earth does. Haha. They just built different. Anyways, I wanted to expand upon the world because I didn't really do anything. This is technically spoilers for Orocha, but I might as well talk about the evolutionary like this rather than doing the flipper clip animations that take ages to do. I spit on the screen, I'm sorry. Anyways, um, fun facts about Orocha and its people. I'm gonna draw a healthy Orochi, and I guess I don't know. You guys can rename it if you want. If you don't like the name, I honestly just pulled out one. I typed up in in a generator, aka Chat GPT or something similar to it. I was like, hey, what would be a good name for a planet? And it was like, I asked what would be a good name for a planet with the letter A in front of it, and there was like Erosia, and I was like, thank you, and take that name. Y'all can rename it if you want. Anyways, I'm going to put an Erosian or Erosian, I don't know. Creature from Erosia. Humanoid creature from Erosia. Sentient creature from Erosia. Specifically a sea one, because, well, I like the sea, and I want to show what the healthy sea um, tribe looks like. So, yeah. Also, another thing, the Arosha's people are based off of Africa, so yes, that's why their hairstyles are similar to black hairstyles. You know, like the locks and braids, and also because I'm black and I want to incorporate my culture into stuff because it barely gets recognized. Bahamas. So, essentially, on Erosia, I can't draw for nothing. On Erosia, people, the creatures, I guess, they're not really people by Earth standards, I guess. I'm not really gonna call them aliens because if you're on their planet, who are you to call them aliens? You came to them, you might as well be the alien, you idiot. I'm not gonna draw their feet properly. Their feet are more like a deer's leg. I'm just drawing it more humanoid so I can finish it very quickly because I'm gonna erase this in a few seconds. Essentially, on Arosha, they do not. They. I can't talk for nothing. I'm used to my. Why is my voice straining itself? I talk to people in real life. My voice never does this. I talk to people on camera. Suddenly, it wants to be hurting. I'm like, no, no. I want to talk to people. Please stop. Anyways, on Erosia, they essentially are kind of like Earth in BC areas or AHS after Homo sapiens. I think that's how you say it. I could literally just, take the first letter of each word and figure out that I said it correctly, but I'm lazy. Yes, I'm that lazy, or I'm just stupid. Anyways, that's not how they're. See, I've been watching too much of Hannah Smith's video. So essentially, inside of Erosha and their people, they they are, like I said, they are like how they are in 200 BC. I can't talk. so so they essentially, still they still like they still have like Stone Age weapons, even though it's like present day technically in the world. But the difference with it is that unlike why can't I talk? Unlike Earth, instead of their weapons being like just normal weapons, instead they're somewhat electronic. You might be wondering, how can this species have electronics? Well, I like to make stuff unique. So the way this works is that they have advanced technology. They only use it for stuff like spears and helping the environment mainly. They don't really use it for anything but that. Because it would be. They don't like hurting their environment because, like, we need that stuff to live. And, like, humans that just destroy it mindlessly. The literal species I am. Unlike people, I should say. Unlike people here, because we always destroy the earth every second. It became like a norm, so much so that I'm like, oh, protect the planet, and then 2 seconds later I litter at my school, and then I'm just like, what do I stand for? Anyways, they have like containers, electronics, and stuff like that, but they still hunt like primally, mainly just because like you could still survive without having to go to the store to get your stuff. It's better if you just hunt yourself, because then you don't have to go to the store. And there isn't a lot of stores anyway. There's merchants, but they're kind of just like a side hustle. I, you probably don't even understand what I'm saying. I suddenly just stopped talking. It's kind of like a side hustle in the fact of they do not the people there sell stuff there, and just in case, not in case, why do I keep doing this to myself? I'm embarrassing myself, aren't I? Anyways, the people there sell their stuff in like little merchant areas because, well, it's already 9. Well, they need, I'm gonna edit this out, most of this out anyway. They need like money to get stuff, but they don't usually buy stuff from the shop unless like they are terrible at hunting, and they're like, oh child, I'm gonna teach you how to hunt, and a child fails miserably and never learns how to hunt, so they need to buy from the store instead of hunting. Yeah. They also buy get animal skins and stuff like that, mainly from shops, because some of them have hearts of gold and cannot bring themselves to kill an animal themselves, which is also a reason why people there do not mainly, buy, why people buy stuff there. Because if they already hunt, why would they need to buy stuff? Well, it's because they're too chicken to do it, and their family is like, you need to hunt though, so they don't really give anything to them. So they just get money, and how they get money is sell the stuff they hunt. So they just steal their parents' hunting food and just sell it off to people, and they're like, "Yay, I could buy food," even though their family already gathered it for them, and they don't really have to. It's just for pleasure mainly. Um, the tribes are based on the tribes are based on like elements. I can't talk for nothing. So you have sky. Gonna do a very poor job at this, but sky, sea, and earth. It could be plants and rocks. Okay. It's I know plants. The meaning for earth kind of gets messed up. People are like, does it mean that you are like earth as in plants, or earth as in the ground, or earth as in the entire planet of earth, which would just be all the combinations of everything? Anyways, as I was saying, people just sell stuff for to get like money to buy stuff like fabric and stuff like that. The where they could get this is mainly inside of the town where mainly humans live, and hybrids between the species and humans. The reason why humans are there in the first place is mainly because space programs, and they're just kind of like, let's create a portal, and they were like, I think that's illegal, and they were like, not what I see. So they just tried to create a portal to see if it would work. They ended up did, and they found the Roshan, and they're kind of just like, well, we're gonna colonize this now. America was just like colonization. And after a few years, I don't have a specific date on when they found this area. I just know that they did somewhere around um the 1800s. How did 1800s people create portals but not proper medicine, telling people to have weed and it'll fix everything? Well, my friend, I don't know. Don't question my technique. Maybe the aliens accidentally created the portal and they were just kind of like witchcraft, and then they were like, wait, other planet. I don't really know when the idea of aliens actually existed. I should probably look that up later. Anyways, humans mainly sell the fur and stuff like that, or human hybrids of the species, because, well, plot, and also because I needed a reason why they would buy stuff, and how they are like Earth, even though they're still hunter gatherers. Ah, I never expect myself to be this like nervous to talk. I am going unscripted. I need a breather. Hold on. And we're back. It was not that long. Actually, I did not take like a whole field trip worth. Anyways, boy. Why do they have two tongues? The species, they just kind of chill around. Not mainly. Since they are like on world countries like Earth, they don't really have colonization. But because I like 200 BC more than I like nowadays, because it has more forests, they still move around a lot. So if there's a town one place, you could go back to that town and it'll be gone because they moved somewhere else because they saw that there's better food there. So they just moved the entire town. So all you'll see is crushed up like houses. Oh, speaking of houses, I should probably tell you what they make their houses out of. So, this also stems from African culture because I saw how they build their houses and I was like, that is sick. I'm going to do that now. So, essentially, what they do with their houses. Hold on, let me draw it real quick. I should probably pause the video anytime I say let me do the drawing, but I'm too lazy to. Anyways, the people, whenever they like build a house, they build it like those guys on YouTube. You would see them doing construction thing, and people would controverse whether or not they did that all by hand or they were just, they used tools to do it. But essentially, they did that, except there's no that for sure they did not use tools because they're an alien race that still uses the techniques of 200 BC weapons and stuff like that. I do not know what to call them. Prehistoric weapons, Stone Age weapons. I do not know. Anyways, essentially what I'm trying to say is that they make their houses out of wood and clay because that is like the most recyclable thing you could use other than concrete. Also, this only goes for like sky and land tribes. They use concrete for the houses. You can make up whatever the fish people use, the ocean tribes use. You can make up whatever they use to like build their houses. Because I don't really have any way they build their houses yet. Because they live mainly in the water, but they still need to breathe air since they're evolved beings that used to be on the land, but then went in the water because they were like, "It's wait, hold on, water's cool." So I don't really know whether or not they they use they maybe I can make an excuse like, oh, they build their houses on the shoreline and then they go in the water for like events or something like that. But then I would come up with, what if a hurricane hits? Like straight up, just an entire hurricane. This is a male, that's why its horns look different. Uh, what if just an entire hurricane just came and swept everything away? So I was like, what do they do then? Like the floods and stuff. I know they're sea creatures and they can't drown because they automatically just hold their breath as soon as they go in the water, which is a good trait to have, especially when you have children next to the water. So I don't really know. Thank you for that. This man looks really feminine. I don't really know how they build their houses. You can make up whatever you want about how they build their houses. You could even make up that maybe I don't know, they still build it on shore that's not too close to the shore, so they don't, you know, cause themselves to be swept up by any means of hurricanes. Another thing, back to the technology stuff. Their technology is somewhat just like solar. I hope I spelled solar right. I watch the Sun and Moon show all the time, so if I got that wrong, I would cry myself to sleep. So, solar punk, which it would just be solar aesthetic, and that. And why am I using this? Like I'm supposed to be doing this, so it can look cool afterwards and make it look like it's paper that has been repeatedly drawn on. As I was saying, it's solar punk. So they have solar panels, movable solar panels, mind you, because like I said, they still are a species that moves around a lot. Oh God, what? I have never had a voice crack before. That is strange. Why am I I'm not. I feel like it's supposed to be nervous, but I can't tell either. So it's just like, am I nervous or am I just really weird during recording? Anyways, like I said, they have solar panels. I'm redrawing it. They have solar panels. They have spears made with like technology advances in the spear point. They make the spear tips by hand because no one wants to buy a spear tip. They only want to buy the stick. So the thing just told you. It just says whether or not your sword, the thing's getting dull. If you're wondering how it does that, it's like it it's just like what was that? It was it's like cyberpunk. I don't know why I said it so much. It's like cyberpunk, but instead of it being like instead of people, you know, destroying their earth, destroying themselves, having those technology advances, they only really help their planet with it because no one wants to be in a world where everything is like broken. Even humans don't, but they don't really know how to go about fixing their problems, so they're like, oh, we're gonna fix it, and then later they don't fix it, and it just gets worse and worse every year. Yeah, people are weird. Uh, Essentially, they kind of just enjoy how their planet is. I'm gonna do something real Avatar right here. Floating stingrays. Boom, got you. Well, not really Avatar. It's more of Sky. Sky the Last Enderman. What the hell? Sky. Thingam. Sky. This is an Earth one because I wanted to show you how the Earth ones. They look like lions. The Earth ones look like lions, and they're the ones that look most prehistoric given the fact of how their outfits are. Although their outfits isn't like one solid thing, as it could vary depending on which town or which family it is, as they make their clothes personally tailor made for their household or their Pacific town. So it could vary a lot. Anyways, back to what I was saying. They like their planet, so instead of making all this new technology that humans were suggesting when they first like came there, they were like, "Oh my gosh, aliens," or I don't know, whatever the Victorian 1800 people were like colonizers. They're like, "Oh my goodness, you guys, I have no clue what that era's clothing looked like. All I remember is that they wore hats a lot, and they had Hitler like I should probably not say his name. Um, Racist man, terrible man, mustaches all the time, and they're kind of like, "Yo, you guys should, we should like put you guys as slaves." And given the fact that these creatures are like a little bit bigger than humans, they were obviously like, "No, please don't." So they didn't manage to like make them slaves or anything, which is good. I it's good. So essentially, when they came over, and instead of colonizing them, because they were like, they're too big to do that, and I don't think spirits can really touch them, given the fact that most of them have really thick skin and fur. So they have thick skin underneath. They have thick skin underneath, like kind of like I don't know which animal has really thick skin. Some animal with really thick skin. Some animal with really thick skin and thick fur. So like a lion and whatever animal has thick skin. And the oceanic creatures, their skin got tired of getting harder, and it was starting to become harder to move for them. And the only time they could actually move properly was like when they're children. So they just had plates go onto their arms sometimes, um, or their tails. So I don't really think they could have really thrown spears or pitchforks at them. It would just aggravate them. Like, stop trying to kill me. So instead, they're like, guys, we have all these cool inventions, and since you prehistoric little dumbos, we're gonna show you guys all of our cool stuff that we made over the years. And they're like, well, that's cool, but it's destroying your planet. And they're like, no. So they just took inspiration from some of their stuff. Obviously, the creatures here live way longer than people because they could live past 100 years. So they suddenly, after a few years, they just suddenly just submerged into talking about phones. They're kind of confused until they realize, wait a second, these people don't live as long as cell phones. And then all of a sudden, they started talking about cars. I should probably do the Nokia. Cars, and then they started talking about this, that, and the next thing. They're like, oh, this is so many inventions. They got the most interesting they found was solar panels because it's like you guys could find a way to gain energy without hurting your planet, yet you don't use it a lot. Like that's like a big waste. That's a big weight. So they started using solar panels a lot because they could power maybe high tech cities with it. So they used it mainly just for big cities and also so they could have technology. So phones there are like powered by solar power. I like drawing the oceanic creatures mainly because I like the sea. So they kind of just stuck to solar panels and created their own types of phones because they saw their phones and they were like, Sir, I'm sorry, I could use this as a brick because remember, they live longer than humans past 100 years. They aren't that prone to getting cancer or any of that. Yeah, I actually found out most people that die from old age are it's actually just from cancer, and they just hide it as you're dying from old age. So, anyways, they saw this puny little thing, and they were just kind of like, "This is a brick. This isn't look cool." Oh, hi, mother. Hold on. My mother suddenly walked inside of the room, and I got scared. Anyway, then they were like, "This is just a brick." So they created their own type of phones. Their own types of phones being like transparent ones. Yes, ma'am. My mother gave me a hot patty. It's like an empanada, but Bahamian and orange. Like I said, they make transparent phones. That does not feel good going down my throat. Transparent phones and transparent tablets. They didn't really like how it was fur because their children could have cut their hands on it, so they just changed it to the best form someone could possibly do for a device. The circle. We pretty much just did that. That's all I could really talk about because I stuttered a lot and I'm very sorry. And also my mom. So yeah. Bye.